Okay, so I'm going to do a quick bushcraft video. I have 6 knives here, and there's never enough knife videos on YouTube, right? So I have a couple of surprises here, some other ones that people have done before, like the BK2. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them, but I'll just kind of run down the line and show you what I have for bushcraft knives. And I'll start with the most common one. This is the Becker BK2. Everyone under the sun has pretty much done a video on this. Everyone knows how great the BK knives are. I obviously took the finish off. I love the shape of this knife. I love the size of this knife. I love the metal of this knife. The 1095 Crovan is awesome. One thing I'm in love with on this knife, and it's is the width. It's 1 3/4 inches tall or wide. I think that's so cool. The only thing I would say, and the reason why I keep it in like a bug out bag, is it's just so thick. And a lot of people can do anything with this who are super skilled. I'm not that skilled. I would love to see a version of this that's thin, like a 1/8 inch thick. I'm really getting into thinner knives. But just a beautiful knife. Keep it in my bug out bag. Next, this is just really, I got it, I'm embarrassed to say, off Etsy. It's actually pretty nicely made. The guy claims it's carbon steel. I've never seen a carbon steel that shiny. I do like shiny knives. It's, I think, 5/32. It's basically probably a knockoff of Dave Canterbury's Scout knife. Flat ground. I really haven't put it through its paces. It's got some discoloration here, so I don't even know if it's made out of carbon steel. Half decent sheath. I forget the guy's name. If someone's interested, just send me a message and I'm sure I can find where I got it. But I haven't really put it through his paces. It's pretty hefty, seems pretty solid, but again, I should probably just save the money and put it towards a Scout. But I'm on a budget. Okay, next is my go-to knife, GNS Saber. I have another video on this knife. This would really be my overall go-to knife. Blind Horse Knives, which is now in 2 different companies, Battle Horse Knives and LT Wright, make the knives now. I'm not sure which one makes them. It's just a phenomenal blade, phenomenal. Metal's great. I have a whole nother video how I broke it and sent it back to LT and he fixed it, and like, they're just a phenomenal company. I would buy from them again in a heartbeat. Just an awesome knife, GNS Saber. Next is my Russell Green River Works knife. I did another video on this where I kind of built this knife. Not really built it, but I hand carved the handle from some maple I found at work. And it's just I like it. It's a real thin knife. It's, I don't know. I really don't know the thickness. I'd have to look it up. About a 5-inch blade, razor sharp. And I like that these are made in Massachusetts and they date back to like the Frontier era. And this sheath I got off eBay. It's actually a really nice sheath, and I forget where I got it, but it fits the knife perfectly. And yeah, it's neat. It was a fun little project. Next is another Blind Horse knife. It's not really a bushcraft knife, but it's a handmade knife, so I have it in this pile. It's a Frontier First. Phenomenal knife. I got this when I published my first book. I treated myself to this knife, and I'm saving it for one of my children. Whoever wants it first will get it. The only thing I would recommend on this, it's 1/8 inch thick. I gave it kind of a convex grind. I would probably, if I was to do it over again, and I'll probably get my other 2 children one of these as well, I'd probably get a hollow ground just because it's so small, and with a blade that small, I'd want it as a hollow ground, just me personally. And the sheath, phenomenal, with the button sheath. Obviously I can't make a button right now. Comes with a dangler. I mean, can't you just see a little kid following their dad around the woods wearing one of these? I mean, they're just so cool. All right, finally, this one is just one of my prized possessions. It is a Case Hunter, 6-inch blade. I emailed the company, and they said based on the markings, it's between a 1945 and 1960 blade. So I love that it has some history. has a blood groove on it, and it's the chrome vanadium metal. And I had a little bit of trouble sharpening that, but I like the shape of the blade. I even like the little finger guard on it. The aluminum pommel, full tang, just fits really nice in the hand. I've actually used this. This isn't something it was handed down to me and never used. And I'm not one of those guys that just put something in a collection unless I'm trying to save it for a resale value as like an investment. If I have it, I'm going to use it. I've actually batoned with this thing. I'm not one of those guys that just put something on the wall. And I mean, you can't take it with you, right? So if I have an antique car or something, I'm going to use it. So I use this knife. It's a great knife. And, you know, it's one of my only things I'll probably have to hand down that's cross-generational. So I wanted to end on this note. Just a really cool piece of history here. All right, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite bushcraft knife is. And that's all I got. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.